Hello everyone, I hope you're all well. Ramadan Kareem to all my Muslim friends who are fasting during this precious month. And those of you who are not fasting, I hope you stay around and enjoy all the preparation and the delicious food I make for this month. So I am currently 6 weeks postpartum and I am not fasting this year, but my family members are. I am truly honored and overjoyed to have the opportunity to prepare meals for them when it comes to breaking the fast. I must also mention that I haven't been the fastest when it comes to editing this video, and so most of the prep you see here is from a week or so before Ramadan started, especially the meat prep and the bone broth that I'm making in the video. I have been making bone broth for a very long time. It's something I always have in my freezer to use in soups, ramen bowls, and even to cook rice. Not only is it super nutritious, but it adds so much flavor to pretty much everything. I use beef bone marrow. I fill my pot with water right to the top and boil on medium to low heat for 12 hours. Sometimes I add onions and garlic for extra flavor. Other times I keep it simple and season as and when I use it. Once cooked, I strain the broth and let it cool down before I portion them out in strong bags and freeze them. It's no surprise to anyone that life with a newborn can be a challenging period, and adjustments need to be made in order to cope with these changes. Not to mention the importance of recovery during this period and all that it takes to aid this recovery. Food is a significant factor, and so to get through this month, I stocked my freezer with the following: a few packs of minced lamb and beef mixes that you saw earlier to help me make dishes like kebab, kofta and pasta. 3 packs of marinated chicken that I filmed and shared a reel on Instagram. I did a Persian, Turkish inspired chicken, an Asian inspired one with garlic, ginger and honey, and then finally an Arabic inspired one with cumin, paprika and 7 spices. If you want the full recipe to those, head over to my Instagram page and it's all there for you to try. As you can see, I also did a marinade for lamb chops and then a slightly different one for ribs. They will be easy to just thaw overnight and cook in the oven for a fairly simple iftar or dinner, or even to make for Eid. Also, if your husband is a meat lover like mine, then this will be very much appreciated and most likely completely devoured. I also cook the marinated chicken in a similar way. I empty out the bag onto an oven-safe dish along with some cubed potatoes and carrots. I then serve it with rice or bread and salad. There was a couple of bags of cubed lamb too, which I will use to make any spontaneous cravings we may have. Then it was time for a quick garden project update, followed by the Ramadan food shop restock. So the entire shop here was from Costco, and once I packed that away, I went ahead to unpack the essentials I picked up from the Middle Eastern supermarket. Most of these items will be used during the month of Ramadan to cook and bake with. So I also picked up this koi peynir, which is a traditional style cheese. The packaging is not done in a way so that you can store it very well. So I filled a jar with boiling water. After the water had fully cooled down, I added the cubed cheese to it and stored it in the fridge. This way it can keep for longer than when it's in its original packaging. I must confess, purchasing new items, especially when it comes to home furnishing or kitchenware, is not something I often do. I love thrifting, picking up vintage items or antiques. The idea of giving something a new home, most times when they are in almost perfect condition, is very appealing to me. But I caved and picked up a few pieces I both needed and liked to use this spring to help brighten things up around here, and I also know I will be using them for a very long time. This block of fresh mozzarella is one of my favorite purchases from Costco. I use it in cooking as well as sweet treats and desserts. Now you may ask, how do you use the entire thing before it goes off? And the best way to store it for long periods is to cut it in blocks, in Ziploc bags and in the freezer. I bring one block out at a time, throw it in the fridge from the night before, and it's easy to use. It works out cheaper and much better than buying the pre-shredded ones. Some of the other preparations for the month of Ramadan included filling up the nut, oil and vinegar jars so that they are ready to be used in cooking, giving the kitchen a deep clean and a wipe down. Let's also not forget the fridge, which is something I do on a weekly basis. I also like to wash all of my berries and store them in a container in the fridge. They last longer and fresher. Using some minced meat, I prepared some pizza pockets stuffed with spiced meat, also known as hawashi or arayes. The fresh herbs really enhanced the flavour, and also squeezing the moisture out of the onions made the meat a lot more tender. They were super simple. After fully mixing the meat with all the ingredients, I just stuffed the pockets and set them aside. You can either cook them straight away or place them in a Ziploc bag and freeze to use as and when, which is exactly what I did. They are super quick and easy and make a delicious dinner or iftar. I couldn't resist and I had to make some on that day. So you just need to brush both sides with your oil of choice. You can make these in a pan like I did, in the oven or air fryer until they are golden and crispy. I also made a tahini garlic sauce with lemon juice, cumin, salt and pepper, which was served with this, and it was just perfect. Next, I made a start on some samosas, which are now a welcome tradition for us in Ramadan. Now, I'm not a pro at this, especially when it comes to wrapping it the traditional way, and I don't make my dough from scratch, but I can say that it's delicious and my family enjoys them. I guess this is the most important part too, for us to enjoy the process of cooking and make recipes that we love to both prepare and eat, regardless of our culture or traditions. After all, nothing beats a hearty meal that has been cooked with love. Now, I did say I wasn't a pro, but the simple rolls are so much quicker and faster to make. I made a total of 70 samosas. I flash freeze them and then stored them in the freezer so that I can thaw them and then fry them fresh for iftar or pop them in the oven. But let's be honest, deep fried is the best. It was then time to complete our Ramadan decorations. Every year I have bought my son books, especially for Ramadan, so that he can understand the concept of fasting and to get him excited about this month. I even made him his very own Ramadan library this year with lanterns, and it just made his day. He has been so happy about it. On to another recipe. I started to work on the Snickers dates that I wanted to make this year as a little sweet treats for us for after iftar. I just removed the pips and filled them with peanut butter, dipped them in melted chocolate and sprinkled the dates with sea salt flakes. I hope you try them because they are totally worth the effort. I initially set them in the fridge to set and then stored them in an airtight container back in the fridge, and they last a very long time. Finally, I did what I do every year and set up a little platter like this that I can uncover every day at the time of iftar with all the things that we like to graze on. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and share and subscribe. If you are fasting, I wish you a wonderful month, and I hope to see you around here again very soon.